Alright, you guys, welcome back to Hapymaher. I did skip a little bit ahead, but we're like still not that far from where I just ended off. Just kind of skipped ahead to them getting back. They just got back from, doing all the Santa stuff. And we're going to see how this goes. We just did all the stuff that we kind of done before, but it's a little bit different now that it was with Saki. She became the princess, and we had to do all the Christmas stuff. Fun. But we're going to go ahead and continue off from here. So in the end, what happened over there? You were helping Santa, weren't you? Hirosaka was exhausted and Alice was chowing down, so I asked Club Prez, who looked like she was relatively more composed.
だけどさすが夢の世界の住人ね。ソリを返したらすっごいいい笑顔で消えていたわ。
Okay, why did the music get so serious all of a sudden? Okay, so you returned it to Santa, I'm assuming. Club Prez had a terribly faraway look in her eyes, and her hands that held the teacup were shaking. Was it anger?
消えたって、さっきも言っていたグリーンランドでですか？そう、グリーンランドで。
Why are we so serious about Greenland?
グリーンランド、北極のすぐそばで世界最大の島です。ちなみにデンマーク領ですが、自治政府が置かれています。
Okay, it's Danish territory, but it has its own government. We're getting a little bit of a lesson here, I guess. Hirosaka rattled off as though trying to escape from reality.
その大部分が北極圏内にあり、島の8割以上は氷と雪に常に覆われている。
Yeah, I think you could call it a frigid climate.
極寒の地です。
Covered with snow and ice. That's the weird part. Greenland is the icy one. Iceland is the green one. Her voice was filled with resentment and a chill like a winter wind. He left you there.
放置よ。
The press said in an icy voice before reaching for more food and Norimaki this time.
稽古の緊張の糸が切れたのかな。パタって倒れちゃったの。
Okay, so I guess the tension here is because we're talking about like they could have died, just, being stuck in an icy place like that.
その久々に地面についたことと極寒の地で夜中に放り出されたことでつい張り詰めていたものが限界を超えてしまって。
Okay, then how'd you guys get back?
あれは仕方ないわ。稽古が倒れなかったら私が倒れてたかもしれないもの。
And what happened?
もう一か八か。雪を固めて鎌倉の入り口って言い張ってアリスに鍵を用意してもらった
Oh
の。
yeah, you guys came for the
そこ
key,
からは
huh?
見てたでしょ？
Yeah.
開けてみたらトールは裸だし、なんか抱えてたみたいだし。本当はもっと違うところに繋ぐ予定だったんだよ。
Not what I would want someone to see, you know? No, well, it couldn't be helped. Luckily, Saki had been taking a shower, and it wasn't like we could hide what had happened.
トールたちもうまくいったみたいだしね。
Okay, we're just gonna go from, like, terror music to, Looks like it went well for you guys. Congratulations. You don't have to go and say it out loud. Hirosaka seemed exhausted, and Club Prez was much the same, seeming only to want to tentatively verify it. It was a big deal for us, but
みんなにとっては自分たちの大冒険の方がよほどショックだったみたいね。
yeah, these two were, having a good time, getting to know each other, that kind of thing, right? Good stuff. And the other three were, freezing, possibly going to die.
トールとサキちゃんがやっと一線越えたのなんて嬉しいことだし、いろいろいじりたかったのに。
Don't mess with us.
まあ、変なことを言い出すのをやめたりしないで良さそうなのは助かりましたけど。
What?
食べた。
Alice couldn't care less, just wants food. Alice seemed to have settled down. After swallowing her last bite, she drank her tea as she rubbed her stomach. Looks like you've settled down a bit too. I looked at the TV, which I had left on, and was relieved at what I saw. It was only the sort of programs you would normally expect on Christmas Day. There was nothing in particular about Santa Claus appearing yesterday or the events of the live show.
誘拐事件とかそういった騒ぎは起きてないみたいね。
In a sense, it's a boon for us.
となると次の問題ね。まあ、サキちゃんの家がどうなってるのかも関わってくるんだけど。
次？さ きちゃんと何か関係あるの？
Even though she had just finished eating, Alice was munching away at a rice cake as though she had another stomach for
あん
dessert.
たよアリス、今日からどこに帰る気なのかしら？
どっかその辺で適当にどうにかなるかなって思ってたんだけど。
Saki and Hirosaka sighed. Hirosaka, you have no right to sigh about that. Hirosaka ignored me and continued to munch on a butter roll
で
sandwich.
まあアリスの帰る家もないし、トールかサキちゃんの家に預けた方がいいかなって思ったんだけど。
My apartment, huh? I can certainly house one person here. In fact, sometimes Tetsuya or Saki stayed over during breaks. But
サキちゃんが恋人になったんだし、アリスに変なことなんてしないわよね。
gosh, we can't get a break. They always assume we're gonna do something.
蓮野さんが恋人になったんですから。他の女が部屋に泊まっているというのはむしろ問題なんじゃないですか。
Yeah, you act like Saki's gonna allow that. Tell President Hirosaka didn't see eye to eye as usual, but I'd also considered this, so I couldn't say anything.
兄さんの部屋にアリスさんね。まあ、兄
Case
さ
in
んが
point.
何かするとは思ってないけど、それを私が許すと思う？
Saki said with a perfect smile. It's not just a normal smile, it's a perfect one. I understood what that meant, so we sipped our tea with resigned
となる
expressions.
と、やっぱり蓮野さんのお家でしょうか。
Is that why you were wondering about Saki's house, Prez?
そういうことよ。まあ、その状況を確認するまでは、サキちゃんもアリスもとりあえずこの部屋かしら。ついでに言うと、平坂さんもしばらく休んでないとダメです。
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Plus, you can even go home after getting us in with those invitations after the ruckus we caused.
市場だけで言うなら
Yeah,
帰りたくはないです。
I mean, that's not a surprise.
となると、
Oh, what the frick?
ケ
I
イ
just
君
skipped
も
her
しばら
dialogue.
くトールの部屋？
Then will Keiko be staying in Toru's apartment for a while, too? I guess if it turns out that no one can stay at Saki's house, then Hosono Estate could easily handle 2 or 3 guests. I mean, I've heard it's pretty big. I think it could handle all of us easily. It almost certainly wouldn't be an issue if they were Saki's friends, but that was under normal
どうにもならな
circumstances.
くなったらどうするの？まあ、そうな
Oh,
った
but
ら
I keep
仕
skipping
方の
dialogue.
ない話ですが、兄さんの部屋にいるしかないかなと。
Guess we'll stay in Nissan's apartment. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's actually gonna happen here. Lucky said with a gloomy expression, though there was a slight smile in the corners of her mouth. We have to do something quick. I'd be glad to have Saki in my apartment, but for Alice and Hirosaka to be here too, rather than just enjoy being surrounded by girls, I'd be far more likely to develop an ulcer.
そうね。そうしないと大変かしら。
Her words felt strange. Apparently that also went for Hirosaka.
珍しいですね。普段は仲間外れにされたって文句の一つも言うくせに。
いや、その付き合い出したばかりのカップルのところにいるとか、もうごめんと言いますか。
Fair enough. Yeah. We've also been talking about Tetsuya and Asahi. They probably flirted a bunch when they were by
うちの
themselves.
妹はまだいいんだけど、さすがにサキちゃん相手に邪魔をしたくないというか、正直怖いわ。
Scared of what? Hirosaka and Alice looked away in silence with their lips to their teacups. I wish they would say something.
皆さんわかってるみたいだけど、一応言っておきますね。兄さんは私のですから。変なことしちゃダメですよ。
Wow, okay. That's not what you said in some other routes, but sure. I guess she's not compromising this time.
はーい。
Three replied in unison. In response, Saki gave a satisfied nod. I mean, I'm glad they're all, like, kind of respecting, like, hey, we know you guys have had a thing, and now that it's kind of official, we're gonna respect that. I mean, I do appreciate that everyone's kind of on board with that. I mean, not that they have any reason they shouldn't be, but we just kind of know that the other girls have had feelings for him. I feel like in the other routes we kind of got to see that, even though he got with one of the girls. All the other girls seem to kind of still have feelings for him as well. So it seems like this one they're kind of backing off a little bit. Maybe they still do have feelings. Maybe they're just kind of hiding them. But at least they're verbally saying like, yeah, we're gonna let you have the thing you guys clearly have had for a long time. With that settled, then I'll go out. I'll go check out Saki's
トー
house.
ルが行ってきて大丈夫なの？
Club Prez is the one that they're least likely to recognize, but considering the forced march from yesterday, I wasn't comfortable with the thought of sending Club Prez with her lack of stamina and all. Hirosaka was still recovering, and it'd be bad if Saki was discovered. So it was either me or Alice, and Alice was probably tired too. No, it's okay. I'll go.
大丈夫兄さん。
Yeah, I'll be fine. Probably. It looked like the commotion from the Christmas fest was over anyways. It was just a feeling I had. I patted Saki's head beside me. And I feel like the whole, TV thing kind of gave us an indication. So we're in Chapter 7, Last Resort. So I'm not sure this is going to be a part of the route. We can skip the selection, okay? So it seems like we're just kind of... I couldn't at all remember what had happened after that. Someone made it to the bed. Okay, what just happened? No, licked it? What? Was this torture? Oh, is this when they were like all chilling at? Yeah. Okay, this was the New Year's party. This was the New Year's party that went really wild. Like all the girls were just kind of half naked and things like that, and everyone was just kind of doing weird stuff. Okay, now I got some context. I couldn't at all remember what had happened after that, but someone made it to the bed. Huh? There was a pleasant scent in the air, but the same scent I smelled before I fell asleep. My clothes seemed to be most sleepy. Saki? My clothes were on, but they were quite disheveled. Saki held her arms around me, one across my chest and one around my back.
兄さん、起きたの？
Hey, at least you got some pajamas on. That's more than I can say for the other girls. Saki was lying next to me in the bed. She faced me and looked up. Saki seemed to have changed into her pajamas. For some reason, they were quite disheveled, too. Disheveled? I looked down and was relieved to see that my pants were still on. That's good. That's usually positive. Worried that I might have done something even though everyone else was in the apartment. I didn't do anything, did I?
ええ、まだ何もしてないわ。
What do you mean, yet? Saki looked up at me with drowsy eyes. Saki's clothes were already a mess, so when she hugged me, there were places where her bare skin touched. Trying to hide my anxiety from Saki, I sat up and saw that the room was something of a minor disaster. Moonlight streamed in from the open curtains. It was just like that night in the forest, even though that dream was over. I collected my senses before my mind wandered to darker thoughts and looked around the room again. I didn't know who took them out, but blankets and other bedding were strewn all over the place. The heater was also on, so it wasn't cold. I was relieved, but I really shouldn't have been. Hirosaka was sleeping peacefully by herself in the kotatsu. Club Prez was lying on the sofa with Alice still clinging onto her. My eyes met Club Prez's. She was resting her head on the back of the sofa and noticed I was awake. Alice's attempts to disrobe her seemed to be moderately successful since I could make out Club Prez's bare shoulders. The silence was painfully awkward as time passed. I wonder what the state of things was on the other side of the sofa, if I could just wiggle out of Saki's. Perhaps in response to me thinking this,
兄さん、逃げちゃダメよ。
Saki pulled me by my hand back into the bed. Saki? She grabbed my hands and pulled me against her. If I reached up any higher, my hand would touch her. Yeah, you would touch her breast, huh? If it wasn't that I hadn't touched her before, no, it was precisely because I had touched her that I knew what would happen if I reached any higher than
兄さ
this.
ん、触ってくれないの？
When my hand stopped, Saki gave me a curious, unsatisfied look. It's just, Club Prez is awake. She's watching.
そんなのどうでもいいじゃない。
Hey, yo, what do you mean, who cares?
兄さん、
Saki snuggled up to me. The half-naked Saki's softness and the smell of her shampoo made me dizzy. If I put my arms around her back, I wouldn't care that the others were around anymore. Having been pulled down by Saki, I couldn't see Club Prez anymore. I didn't know whether she was awake or asleep. Maybe she just had her hands full with Alice, who was still clinging to her. I
したい。
want me to what? Pouting, Saki twirled her index finger on my bare chest. I felt a sudden thrill shoot up my spine. I was, of course, yeah, okay. If she touched me there, then we'd be in trouble. I wouldn't really be able to stop. Saki, tonight...
してくれないの？
Saki made a point not to reach for me. I wish she wouldn't look at me like that either. She'd come on to me before, but since we'd already slept together, it held a different significance. What would happen if I gave in to her? I already knew the answer, but... I mean, is it okay if someone sees us? The others might wake up, right? If they didn't wake up, would I have gone for it? Of course. It went without saying that we'd be doing it right now if we were alone.
別にいいじゃない。
Okay, but we care. We're not just gonna jump into that with people in the room. That I don't know about that one. Grabbed my chin and turned my face towards her.
だってそうすれば兄さんが私のもので私は兄さんのものだってみんながきちんと理解してくれるでしょ。
I feel like this is what dogs do, where they're like kind of humping, you know, just in the room while there's other people, and you're just like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, stop. Nobody wants to see that. I feel like this is like asserting dominance, you know? But it's like, do we need to do this, Saki? Everyone knows that we're a thing, okay? Do we need to assert dominance here in the room with everybody? Saki, do you understand what you're saying?
いいじゃない。兄さんがちょっと恥ずかしいくらい。
Okay, embarrassment's fine. That's more than embarrassing. That's just like inappropriate. You know, you wouldn't do that with other people in the room. Wouldn't you be embarrassed? As though finally realizing what the problem was, Saki paused for a moment. It didn't take her long.
そんなのどうでもいいから兄さんが欲しいわ。
I don't know. Why don't you guys go in the bathroom? Like, hop in the shower or something where, like, people can't at least see it. You didn't seriously think about it at all, did you?
もうそうやって兄さんはいつも私を煙に巻くんだからいいからするのしなさい。
What kind of lady says things like that? Shouldn't we hold off until we're alone?
こんなにくっついててさっきまで散々私のこと触ってたくせに我慢し
I
ろ
don't know.
って
This is
言う
just
の？
basic common courtesy. Like, puffed out her cheeks. Helplessly putting my arms around her, I realized that her bra was unhooked. Had she done it herself, or had I unhooked
寝
it?
ぼけてまでそんなことするくせに
Dang, my guy was ready to go, and he was passed out. Sorry about that, but seriously. Lucky seemed to get to the point, she gave an unpleasant
そ
smile.
うふん今日はできないの
What is
し
this
てくれよ
gaslighting?
そうなんだ
I've never seen a character get gaslighted into doing it in front of other people. I mean, I feel like that's like... Would that be considered cucking? Like, at least of the other people? Lucky, what are you? Undid the buttons on her pajamas and started taking her clothes off. Before I could stop her, she was already just in her underwear, although that was quite a mess too. Then she covered herself with a blanket pressed up
手
against
だ
me.
ししないのよね
What are you? What kind of torture was this? It wasn't that I couldn't make a move on her, I just shouldn't. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm actually agreeing with Toru here. Like, he could make a move. Obviously, she wants him to. Like, that's not hard to make a move here, but it's like, I don't feel like the situation's appropriate. I mean, I understand you guys are like a new couple and you're like new to that, so you just want to like go, go, go. You want to hit the gas and, you know, mate like rabbits, right? Like, that's what everybody does when they're a new couple, you know? But there's a time and a place. This is neither the time nor the place. Okay, maybe it's the time and not the place, because there's people in here. But, I don't know. Probably not the time either. You know what? We're just going to move on.
それじゃあおやすみなさい
Because she's like gaslighting him into wanting to do it. But it's like, he wants to too. Like, it's not a matter of that. It's just not... It's not appropriate. With that gentle touch on the lips, Saki went to sleep, still pressed against me. The smell of alcohol lingered on my lips. I couldn't make a move on her because I was worried about the others waking up, but I also couldn't do it because my still drunk head felt dizzy. Wouldn't do any good to keep thinking about it. I held Saki and decided to go to sleep as fast as possible for the sake of my self-control. Gonna be hard, right? Okay, I actually like how this went down compared to Yayui's. I mean, Yayui's made sense because that's the kind of character that she is, but
はいそれじゃあトールに対す
Okay,
る
we're
公
back to
開
this
裁
scene
判を
again.
始めたいと思うわ
go ahead and skip there. Oh gosh, we're back to the freaking hot springs. Or you already know she's getting a scene. Everybody gets a scene here, apparently. Did Keiko get a scene here? Yeah, Keiko got a little bit of a something here. But yeah, I mean, I like that scene better because he held back versus, you know, some other things. Yayui's made sense. Yayui's the kind of person that would just go for it and tease him, you know, just because that's the kind of person she is. But I like that he kind of held back with Saki, even though Saki clearly wanted to. I think that was the right call. I actually, like, think that was the most grown-up thing he could have done. Anyways, well, we gotta get into this. What an ordeal. I had moved away from the others and was now sitting up with my torso out of the water in order to cool off a bit, though I was no longer submerged thanks to everyone's persistent groping and squeezing. Oh, we're still a girl. Yeah. Why did this happen? I put my arms on the edge and tried to lay my head on the edge of the bath as though it were a desk with my breasts gone in the way. They hurt when they were smushed, so it was pretty inconvenient for them to be so big. And because they were my own, I wasn't exactly excited by them regardless of how big and shapely they were.
そっちにいるの？
Saki, why are you here? What more do you have to do? Quickly moved away from Saki and looked down, as she looked down at me,
あ
annoyed.
のくらいいいじゃない。女同士なんだもの。
Well,
まあもう兄さんには女同士じゃなくても同じようなことされてますけどね。
she said happily as she sat down and leaned her body against mine. I should really, do that. There we go. Problem solved. Now I don't have to edit as much here. Saki's touch reminded me of our one night together, making me blush. Should you sound so happy when you say that?
当然。やっと兄さんに女にしてもらえたんだもの。確かに結構痛かったけど。だけど痛いのが幸せってああいうことを言うのね。ちょっと癖になっちゃいそうなくらい。
Didn't we only do it once?
そうね。だから大事なのよ。
I know, Saki gives me the impression that she's pretty sentimental about that. That one time will be something she'll always remember, even though they'll probably have many more after that. Saki sat on my lap and put her arms around me. She had her arm around my neck so I couldn't escape. Saki-san, what are you doing?
さっきからトールちゃんがみんなをエッチな目で見てたから。
What does that have to do with what you're doing now? Flustered, I tried to look away, but Saki narrowed her eyes and smiled.
エッチなことをすれば男らしくなるのかなと思ったんだけど。
What do you want me to do with a body like this? Our bodies were close enough that our breasts were now brushing against each other. They felt soft too. When I remembered that one set belonged to me, I couldn't take it on the next
した
step.
くないの？
Remember the Christmas Eve, feeling Saki's softness with my whole body, touching each other's lips and licking hers. The way her breast changed shape in my hand and her cries every time I touched. Yeah, okay. We're gonna skip over a little bit of that, okay? I do, but Saki smiled happily and clung to me.
男の人に戻ってちょうだい。
Our soft boobs squished between us. I can't turn back that easily. Why is there so much pervy dialogue here? She seemed to realize this, so she gave me a mischievous look and lightly shifted her waist and chest pressed me against me
どう
even more.
せ夢なんでしょ？だったら兄さんが自分が男だって思い込めばいいだけじゃないの？ほら、このままの姿勢なら戻ったらすぐにできるのよ。
It was true that if I turned back right now, we wouldn't even need to change our position. Before you made me wait quite a while before letting me put it in.
初めてだもの。当たり前じゃない。だけど私、兄さん相手なら痛いのが好きみたいだから、このまましたらちょっときつくて痛いかもって思うと、それでもいいかなって。
Not really into that.
嘘。苦しそうにしてる私見て興奮してたくせ。
Hey, yo. I couldn't deny it. In fact, I was surprised that Saki had noticed. I wasn't just getting excited over that. I hadn't wanted to hurt her. It was just that once we were already going at it, everything about Saki became precious to me. It was just adorable that Saki had accepted me, even though it hurt, and was even begging me for more. That's why I didn't want to do it.
何が？まさか私とエッチしたの後悔してるんじゃないでしょうね。
I regret it. I really regret it. Saki pouted and waited for me to continue. It's just as I thought. Now that we've done it, I can't restrain myself.
歯止めが効かないってどういう意味？
I mean, just that. Ever since then, I've been dying to hold you. I mean, that, like I said, that's normal. I mean, after you kind of become a couple, after you've established your feelings and put them out there, and then, you know, if they've been reciprocated, right? Like, that's all you want to do is be together. I mean, it's not even just, like, sexually. Like, you just want to be around each other all the time. That's normal for new couples, right? Like, that feeling will wear off. I think that's just natural. I mean, you could still want to like hold each other and be with each other all the time, but like that feeling of, you know, infatuation that kind of comes with that, that's a very temporary feeling. That's why I say like not to base love off of that, because like, you know, for the first so many months of being together, you know, like you're in love and everything's perfect, there's no problems. Like don't base an entire relationship, an entire future off that, because that's just not generally how that goes. Okay, we're just gonna continue on from here. I am cutting out a lot of this because I'd have to censor it, and it's hard because the dialogue and the what's going on. It's just really difficult to kind of figure out what to censor and what not to censor. It's like y'all know what's going on. It's the freaking onsen. Like of course you know what's going on here. She gets on the list before getting out of the water. Left behind by myself, I stared up absent-mindedly into the sky. I love you, huh? Those words went round and round my head. It was only in front of me that Saki ever said or did those kind of things. I wondered how it was possible. It wasn't that she only did those things because she had the hots for me. In fact, it regularly bothered me when she did things like that. It was like she didn't. I didn't want to admit, whatever the form, she's probably in love with me. I thought that if I laughed it off, that there wouldn't be a problem. That's how I chose to run away from it. Did I love her? Did I only want to have sex with her out of lust? Did I want to do it because it felt good? Was I content as long as I could do it with a cute girl? Was that my intent? No, it's wrong. That's definitely wrong. I didn't know how it was wrong or what was wrong about it, but I had a gut feeling. I was sure that it was, in fact, wrong. I felt strange. Something was wrong with my throat. I turned back. Oh, I turned back to normal. When I sat up, my body had turned back into a man's. I mean, I just been having with Saki, so I was already mostly back. How did that happen? I don't recall the dream just because I really wanted to turn back just now. Is it because I wanted to have sex with Saki? I didn't think so, but as long as I turned back, then it was fine. Now what should I do? Called me realizing that some of the other matters that I now had to deal. I would now have to deal if I froze. For now, I decided I wanted for my little bro to calm himself down. Yeah. Fun, fun. Can I skip? Okay, I can. Okay, so it didn't look like it accomplished anything we definitely had. Okay, so this is kind of when they came back from the onsen right now. That's right, it's proof that we weren't stuck in the same state. That there was the fact that my relationship with Saki had changed a lot. Going from siblings to a mostly normal romantic relationship was definitely the result of this dream, and our feelings were definitely growing. In that sense, no matter how crazy the world got, what was important didn't change. It honestly felt that way. I suddenly saw blue sky, a white room, that tea party room with sweets I saw in the dream. Where was I? Why was the sky blue everywhere, and did I fall from there? What was that? Why I was flying, in that case? Why are you here, Alice? Just like that, the moment I blinked, the scenery was gone. Ah! I hate every time they show me this stupid scene, because I want to know what's going on. Ah! I hate it. Can I skip? We're skipping, because I don't want to keep seeing this freaking. Just then I got the feeling that someone was trying to get my attention. Alice? Got the feeling it was her. Ah! I skip and it still gives me more of that scene! Ah! I hate it! I just know there's something going on there, and I've been wondering that the whole time. That was more, though, I think, than we've gotten. I do think we got a little bit more right there. Because, I don't know. It's just such a tease, and I hate it that they're showing me that, because I know that there's something going on in, like, a different timeline, and we're making, like, the wrong decision, you know? Like, all the choices we made up to this point, you know, leading us to go down a different route, like, it's not right. So, like, this is, like, just a failed timeline, I guess, in the sense of a true ending. Like, we're not going down the right one. There's, like, 100 Torus, and there's only one that ends up making the right choices and then goes down the right path, and it's just like, frustrating. The sudden voice rolled around. Saki was standing there, the white puffs of her breath clearly visible.
そんなにアリスさんと一緒にいたかったのかしら？
I just want to know what's going on in that scene, because clearly there's something, like, amazing happening, or something, like, important story-wise, you know? I just want to know what it is. What's not that? What's wrong? I always thought that Saki had been dropped off by Takara-san, so why was she
ど
here?
うって。一人で帰る兄さんが寂しそうだから送りに来てあげたのよ。
She must have run here because she is out of breath. As they spaced out, Saki grabbed my hand.
手冷た。もう、なんで温まろうとか思わないの？
That's what I was thinking. I'd hurry and go
ほ
home.
んと、兄さんはしょうがないんだから。だったらほら、早く帰るわよ。
Yeah, Saki. I'm just... Might as well go home with you if I can't see what this blue sky shit is about. Pulled me by the hand and I walked after her. Saki, is it okay if you come over? Did Takara-san say
言って
anything?
たわよ。後で兄さんのところに私を迎えに来るって。
The one thing that's interesting, though, to me about Saki's route, it's a lot more sexual in the sense that I feel like they've already become comfortable with each other, you know, through the years. So I think once it started happening, it really starts happening. It's different than any of the other girls, just because they already have such an established relationship. And I think it's something that Saki's clearly been wanting for a while. So it's different. They're a lot more comfortable, so that you get a lot more scenes in this that show that they're comfortable with each other. It makes it a lot harder to censor, and I have to cut out a lot more just because... I don't know, I'm so lazy when it comes to wanting to edit all that. It's just like... It takes a while, and it's hard to decide what I can and can't keep because I don't want to get the video taken down. I just know there's so many other visual novel YouTubers, let's put it that way, that end up losing their channel over things, and it's like, how do you decide where to draw the line? Like, I don't know, you just don't. Like, you just have to cut out more and hope that you cut out enough. She did. She said she'd come pick me up at your place later. Later, huh?
何時頃に行きますって言わなかったのはどういうことかしらね。私に帰る時間を任せてくれたのかしら。
Maybe she thought if she specified a time, then I would try something before then.
じゃあ、早く帰って兄さんのしたいことをする？私も外がこんなに寒いと思わなかったわ。
It was a very, very attractive offer, but under this cold sky, I couldn't start breathing heavily through my nose right away. I'd like to get warm
だ
first.
から温めてあげるって言ってるの。
Yeah, I thought that was implied. I think for now I'd like to just warm up a normal way, and if you say things like that, you become like Club Prez. Wasn't making dirty jokes, but where had that modesty gone? When she was surrounded by people she knew, she didn't hesitate to talk about sex.
それは困るわね。
She looked so seriously troubled that it seemed like she really hated the idea. Geez, you don't have to be so obvious about it. Saki gave me a sullen look. I saw Saki as my little sister because she had proposed that herself. Now our relationship had the added element of being lovers. Thought maybe Saki was still worried that I was mainly seeing her as a sister. I don't know. I still think this route's a lot like Mitru's from Chrono Clock. Obviously, this is a little bit different in the sense that she's not our real sister, but she likes to think of herself as our sister. You know, we're also doing things that are not usually done in a brother-sister relationship. But I can see a lot of resemblances between these two, which is good and bad. I do like that she's pretty honest with her feelings. I do like characters that don't like bullshit around. I've seen so many things where it's like, well, Toru's kind of this way too, but like they're just so afraid to like say their feelings. When it's just like, oh, you could just say it right now and it would make everything so much better, you know, if everyone was on the same page, and you know, if you just weren't messing around, you know, if you just told your feelings up outright, you could save yourself so much headache, you know. And characters just tend to drag things out, and so they never know what the other one's feeling. They play this game, and and they end up getting hurt because of it. But characters like Saki and Michiru just kind of outright say what they want, and they still end up getting hurt because of that. But at least the main character knows where they're at, and then they have this sudden realization, as they're falling more in love with them, like, oh, like they're actually serious about feeling like this for me. Um, but at least like it's up to them to kind of the ball's in their court, right? Like the other character like Saki or Michiru already like made known their feelings, so it's not like you have to kind of guess on that part. So sometimes I appreciate having a character like that where their feelings. It's not a guessing game.
大丈夫だとか、そんな気楽に言って。兄さんってば、私のことどこまでわかってるんだか。
Maybe I don't actually understand you at all. Maybe everything I thought about Saki was just an arbitrary belief on my part and completely off the mark.
そこで私のことなら全部わかってるとか言ったら怒るところだったわ。
That's not good. I'd put Saki through a lot. I always thought the source of that trouble was that we couldn't be honest with each other with our expressions and attitudes and secrets. Maybe the fact that we had been examining each other in that way was part of it. Even now, Saki was searching my expression for clues. She gave me a look that she understood even if I didn't say anything before turning her body to face me.
そんな兄さんに一つだけ、本当に本当のことを教えてあげるわ。
Just one. Was that all I could get before I could tease her about that Saki
好
spoke?
きよ、兄さん。誰よりも。
Well, there it is. It's nice. I'm glad, like, I'm getting to kind of see the realization of their relationship, Like, we keep seeing this in other routes where Saki's really trying to express her feelings. And it's nice because I feel like we're finally going to get to see Toru kind of express that back. That's the thing that hurts about characters like this, and sorry to go back to comparing her to Michiru, but it hurts in a way seeing them because they are so open about their feelings. It's hurt when you go into the other routes and you get to not see those feelings realized. All I can think about is how much they would probably be upset, like seeing the person they love being with someone else constantly. And maybe not even being upset about it. Maybe they are actually okay with it. Maybe they just really want the best for the person that they're in love with, And that still just kind of hurts, right? Like imagining someone being like that, loving someone so much, but like being happy for them being with someone else because you know that they don't return those feelings to you.
他のみんなが兄さんのことを好きでもいい。兄さんが他のみんなのことを好きでもいい。だけど。
Yeah, and she's actually talking about what I was just thinking about. Okay.
今の兄さんは私だけのものだから、私を一番に見てほしい。もう、マヤちゃんばかり見てほしくないの。
Wow, this was really unexpected. I was kind of just thinking about, having the character feel this way, and she's just straight out expressing it, which I'm really, really happy about. I just really want to like digest this because this is really nice. Because like I don't mind if everyone else loves you. I don't mind if you love everyone else. Like she's kind of expressing like, hey, like I'm gonna even if you chose someone else, I'm gonna be happy. But in this timeline, this version, you're mine alone, right? I'm assuming at some point there's going to be kind of some level of multiverse kind of thing going on. Like, oh yeah, you've been going down each of these decisions, and now you're finally going down the right one. Once we get towards the true end, or maybe even to Maya's route, maybe she's going to reveal that to us because she's kind of already said like, you've had these conversations before, but I've erased your memory, right? So I wonder if Maya remembers each time we go down a different route. And make different decisions. I wonder if she has knowledge of all those, and she just kind of is playing around with that idea. Saki's hand squeezed my own. I could tell she was acting tough. Her eyes were a little watery, as though she was nervous. I embraced Saki.
ちょっとこんな外で。
Okay, you don't have to just do something sexual every time. You can have a moment, you can kiss, doesn't have to be any more than that. Toru, you're more important to me than Maya. That's what you needed to say. That's what she needs to hear. And you better mean that. Don't tell her that if you're making bullshit up.
本当？
Really. Although I said that I was pathetically uncertain. Wasn't a lie that Saki is important, of course I wanted to treasure. Oh, he's not sure though. That was the right thing to say, but he really needed to put 100% behind that. I don't know if he's ready to do that, it sounds like. If I had to choose between Saki and Mai, would I really be able to choose Saki without hesitation? Saki might have been aware of my inner thoughts.
兄さん、本当の兄弟同士は結婚できないのよ。
Then I'll have to make my unrelated sister into my girlfriend. Saki nodded slightly and hugged me back. The thin body in my arms was definitely very important to me. There's no question that I would sacrifice myself in a heartbeat to protect her, but even so... I held on to the anxiety in my heart as I embraced Saki. I mean, I already knew this was coming. I knew that Saki's route was going to have something to do with Maya, because I just don't think that you can have Saki without Maya. I don't think you can have Maya without Saki involved in some way, because I think they're both super important to Toru. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I think there's going to be a lot of Maya moments kind of mixed in here, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't know where exactly this is going to go. I'm curious to find out, though. I held on to the anxiety in my heart as I embraced Saki. Okay, are we jumping into Saki's route right now? Sister. Okay, perfect. That's exactly where I wanted this to go right now. Let's jump into her route with that having been said. Like, he's trying to make a commitment that, like, hey, Saki, you're more important to me. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. I'm going to end it here, though. This is going to be a short episode. I want to just jump straight out the gate into her route. We finally made it, though, so I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying Saki's character more now that we're getting kind of into some real shit. I'm really glad that they've had some of these kind of conversations. This whole conversation we just had was excellent. Really good, really good. So there should be some things to look forward to in this. We're going to obviously see their relationship grow, and I want to see how it ties into Maya, because then I'm going to go and start working on Alice and Maya's stuff after Saki's route, and then finish up, the rest, right? We're getting closer to the end, so I feel like this is going to be a good segue into that, and I want to see kind of where the story goes from here. Anyways, though, thank you guys for watching. End it here. We're gonna continue on straight into Saki's actual route now. I've had a lot of build up to it. I've been just kind of making these shorter episodes because I'm still working on finishing Leyline right now. Once I'm done with Leyline, I'm gonna really try to hammer into Hapymaher a little bit before I start into anything else. I always say that, but then I always start something new anyways. But I really want to get into Hapymaher because I'm excited for the things that are coming up. I want to see what the blue sky is. And I want to see where things go with Maya. I want to see him actually let go of her at some point and maybe actually embrace her at some point too. Maybe the ending doesn't have to be him letting go of her. Maybe we can be happy together with everybody. We'll see. Anyways, guys, look forward to more Saki soon. Still finishing Leyline though. Once I'm done with that, I'll focus more on this. So see you guys soon.